the impact of the apex court striking down domicile quota in admissions to postgraduate medical education. While the order will not affect the admissions that have already been granted, it could set the stage for sharp arguments from several states, which reserve seats for those domiciled to it. A three-judge bench of the court struck down and held that domicile quota violated the constitutional right to equality under Article 14. The court observed in its order, and I quote, "We are all domiciled in India and there is no provincial domicile, etc. This gives us a right to pursue trade across the country." The order further stated that while reservation may be considered for those who are residents of a state, that provision should apply only to undergraduate courses and not for specialized courses. The judgment was in an appeal against a Punjab and Haryana High Court order declaring domicile-based reservations as unconstitutional. Well, this order, as I mentioned, could put several states in a delicate position. What is the impact on both admissions, postgraduate medical education, and the states overall? That's the question we're raising on the Southern View this evening. And joining me this evening, Dr. Amalur Pavanathan, vascular surgeon and member of the Tamil Nadu Planning Commission, Dr. Rohan Krishnan, chief patron of the FIMA, Ashwini Dubey, advocate at the Apex Court, who's in favor of the judgment, and Salem Dharanitharan of the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. My first question to you, Dr. Amalur Pavanathan, what's your first reaction to the Supreme Court order, which says that quality of specialized surgeons should also be kept in mind and that domicile quota is unconstitutional?
First, we do not have the full judgment in hand. Whatever we have is the excerpt, and our knowledge flows from that excerpt only. I do not know, I am not very clear whether domiciliary quota is equated to quota offered by state governments, that is state government quota, because all the state governments quotas basically stem from domiciliary quota only. So I do not know whether they are going to strike down all the state government quota or only the so-called domiciliary quota. That is unclear to me. Second point is this Article 14, equality before law and equal protection before law cannot be mechanically applied. All said and done, India is a single country, but with uneven development. Several states are in several stages of development, and therefore several states have several needs. For example, if there is a medical college in a northeastern state, and the students may not have excellent coaching facilities there, all the postgraduate seats will be cornered by students from mainland who have excellent coaching centers and facilities to study in their spare time. So right. This order violates against the rights of smaller medical colleges to produce their own doctors who will serve in their own places. Secondly, state governments right. are run by state funds. Therefore, pardon me?
No. Oh, no, hold your thought for a moment. I just want to take that last point, first point that you've made to Ashwini Dubey, and then I'll come back to you for the second point that you're going to make in terms of the ones who are funding education in states. Ashwini Dubey, you heard Dr. Amalur Pavanathan saying that there is a contrary argument to it. What do we infer from the Supreme Court's judgment restricted at the moment to postgraduate medical education and specialized education?
No, thank you, Raghu, for having me here. It's an bring academic excellence to bring the best talented, suitable doctors to serve the patients. One nation, one residency, the constitutional supremacy. As the Constitution under Article 16, subclause 2, categorically says that no citizen shall, on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth, residence, or any of them, be ineligible for or discriminated. So providing state-based quota, that too on the PG courses, was violative to Article 16 subclause 2. Now, Article 19 subclause 1 subclause G also provides the citizens the right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade, or business. So somebody, if from the south or the north, wants to practice, propagate his profession, that too in the medical field, and wants to take admission in any part of the southern, it says how the southern state can make a law which is contrary to the constitution. Third important point is that the providing domicile residence-based reservation in admission within the state quota is constitutionally invalid and impermissible. Reason is that your law, you cannot bring the law which is discriminatory and discriminate between the citizens and citizens. So if you cannot make any law which is violative, then how can you restrain somebody from taking admission? This is also, that is why the one nation, one residency, like one nation, one law, like the uniform criminal law, in the same way this is one nation, one residency. So I think that's a significant judgment, Raghav, and which will be having far-reaching implications. Yes, over to you.
On that, you're saying it will be having far-reaching implications. You're making a point of law there. Before I get Salem Dharanitharan very quickly, Salem Dharanitharan, 1 second, I want Dr. Amalur Pavanathan to finish the second point that he was beginning to make, which I presume is about the funds for medical colleges being funded by state governments, which would then like to cater to its own population.
Yes, because unlike any other education, medical education is closely tied to public
Right. We
health
seem to
of
be
the
having
states.
some connection
All
issue
said and
with...
done, this country is a union of states, and states have doctors. Can you hear me now?
We seem to be having an issue. No, we seem to be having an issue with your network, so we'll correct that. Salem Dharanitharan, maybe you could elaborate on that point. What's your first reaction? A, B, is it most likely going to end up being a further legal challenge to this judgment?
So as I have to say, I haven't read the entire judgment, but I will say this to my previous spokesperson who spoke, I mean the lawyer who spoke. See, uniformity does not mean unity. In order to have unity, we need to have diversity, right? So that is why we oppose oneness of everything, one nation, one election, and so on and so forth. But I'll tell you one thing: the universities, the medical universities in Tamil Nadu are funded by Tamil Nadu government's taxpayer money, right? Tamil Nadu has 4 doctors per 1,000. Why do we have 4 doctors for 1,000 people? It is because we spend significantly higher amount of money in healthcare education, which is why we have more doctors and people and students from Tamil Nadu. If they study in Tamil Nadu medical colleges, they will work in Tamil Nadu itself. Let's say you make pan India quota. Let's say disproportionately 50% of the doctors studying in state A is from state B. Will they work? Will they be serving in state A? No, they will all go back to their home state. So which means there is some amount of injustice here, right? See, even in Norway, which has the best healthcare facility, the major problem they're having is how do we spatially distribute doctors? So Tamil Nadu has wonderfully spatially distributed doctors, not just because we have a lot of medical college, but also because of horizontal and vertical reservation for government school students, reservation for caste groups, and because of that, every region of Tamil Nadu has a requisite number of doctors. So, but when you say pan India, like the state planning commission members spoke, Northeast would not have any doctors. For example, all the students studying in Northeast Medical College would be from Rajasthan quota. And they'll go back to Rajasthan. They won't stay in Northeast. If someone from Manipur studies in Manipur Medical College, he will serve in Manipur. Right, so this is going to result in a lot of problems. One more important point: NIT Trichy.
The court has considered all these arguments. Dr. Rohan Krishnan, very quickly, I believe we can go across to Dr. Rohan Krishnan on the phone line as well. Dr. Rohan Krishnan, multiple arguments being made that it's not really a straightforward case when it comes to PG medical education, both in terms of funding of state medical colleges and healthcare system and the impact this could have on the healthcare system of states. At the moment, we are speaking about a state of Tamil Nadu because we have the DMK spokesperson. Your reaction to it?
See, I think that it is a welcoming step. One must have to understand that on the whole, nobody can argue on the fact that the merit should be the supreme most thing when it comes to taking a seat of NEET postgraduate and any courses. So when we are speaking about domiciliary certificate, if you read the verdict of the court, it beautifully says that there is only one domicile, that is the domicile of this nation, and that is of the country, and merit should be of utmost. If at all, if there is a good setup of doctors in Tamil Nadu and not in Mizoram and Bihar, I think that this is injustice to the students of Bihar as well as Tamil Nadu. If you have got good ranks, you can go and take seats in Chennai. Who is stopping you? And if you are not having good rank, if someone else who has worked harder despite of challenging circumstances, and if somebody is more meritorious, he or she should have all the rights to actually go into some place or some college where he wants to study. I think that it is a very welcoming step by court. I think that it does not affect any kind of ethnicity. If someone is belonging from a Hindi belt, if a student of Delhi will definitely try to get a seat in Delhi itself, why will he go and block a seat of Chennai? Why will he go and block a seat of Mizoram? However, if a Mizoram person wants to come to Delhi and is more meritorious than a Delhi student and is getting a chance, I think that it is the beauty of the democracy, and I salute the honorable system of the court that it has given a beautiful judgment.
All right, Dr. Rohan Krishnan making that point emphatically there. Dr. Amalur Pavanathan, you heard what Dr. Krishnan says. The core here is the question of merit. The best student needs to be given the best education to produce the best doctor, specialist doctor. How do you respond to that?
So can I just come in?
Yeah, his state to promote.
1 minute,
Hello.
Selam Dharnitharan, and let Dr. Amalur Pavanathan weigh in, please.
So the
Please go ahead,
so-called
Dr. Amalur
best
Pavanathan.
and meritorious doctor should be able to serve the public health needs of the state. So we are not producing doctors only to be exported outside. We must produce doctors to serve the public health needs of the country. You will be knowing that our vital data like infant mortality and maternal mortality are abysmal in many states. Unless doctors are able to go to these far-flung areas, you will not correct these gross anomalies that plague our country and several states. For that, you need doctors who will be willing to stay and serve in hinterlands. To produce that, you need domiciliary quota. As I said, this actually works against weaker states because those seats in the weaker states will all be taken by doctors from the mainland because they have excellent coaching classes. They will take the seats, study there, and vacate the state. That state will not benefit by the medical colleges that they have so assiduously built over their own funds. This mitigates against smaller states. I am not talking about Tamil Nadu at all. I am arguing in favor of smaller, underdeveloped states which need to develop.
You're not talking of Tamil Nadu, or you're not talking of states where education is developed. Selam Dharnitharan, quickly make your point. We have the last 1 minute left. 30 seconds to you, and then I'll go to the lawyer on the panel.
Whoever represented the medical association is baffling that he does not have any understanding of how education works. Merit as such is a utopian concept. There is no pure merit. Someone in Delhi, how can you compare someone writing an exam in Delhi and then someone from the remotest part of Northeast studying for the same entrance exam and then say that both of them will have the same same performance, right? Someone in Delhi will have naturally an advantage, and someone in Northeast in the rural part would be at natural disadvantage. So there is no pure merit. That is why we have a lot of different reservations like horizontal, vertical, domicile reservation, and so on and so forth. So it's baffling to me that you would say that, if you want to be better than someone in Delhi, you should be better. No, because he's trained better.
The point I think he was making is that he was making is that if there is a student more deserving for a seat in Delhi than a Delhi student, that student should be given the seat. My final 30 seconds there, Ashwini Dubey, respond to this.
We all are residents of India, and the constitution.
Go ahead, Ashwini Dubey, just respond to this.
We all are residents of India, and then there is nothing like a provincial or a state residence. It's a citizen of India, and being a citizen of India, one person from one state has a right to get admission in other medical institutions situated in another state. So there should not be any discrimination. Discrimination would be unconstitutional because the constitution does not. This constitution says everyone has right, and if a talented person, meritorious person gets admission, what is wrong in it? That's the basic intention of the constitution, and we are a country run by the constitution where citizens are considered throughout the. Yes.
Right. Right. I mean, you're making a strong point. I think all sides have made their points. Salem Dharanithar and Dr. Amalur Pavanathan as well, making very strong arguments, both on the merit lines as well as on the need for domiciliary quota from a practical point of view. But that's all we have time for, unfortunately, on the show this evening.